What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, I'm going to show you the best method on how to shiny hunt a water-based outbreak in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And the reason why I'm making this is because I learned a phenomenal piece of tech on how to do this type of shiny hunt from a community member named Vesper. So shout out to Vesper for assisting me with that. And of course, guys, if you like my type of content, enjoy my videos, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it, and consider joining the Pan Fam today by hitting that join member button below. So step one, we need to get a water type outbreak to hunt. So I already have one that I want to hunt, but I'll show you the best way. So you want to be in a watery area, so particular area where the Pokemon you're going to be hunting lives, right? So if you want to hunt for Dondozo, I recommend being in the lake, or Tatsuguri, I recommend being in the lake as an example. If you want to go for Basculin, I would probably recommend sitting in one of these rivers and then doing a mass outbreak reset, or any other water type Pokemon. So you want to have encounter power to increase the odds of you getting a water type Pokemon when you are doing the outbreak reset method. So what you're going to do is step one, you're going to set up a picnic. And there are two different recipes that are going to be pretty solid for this. There's going to be a level 2 sandwich and a level 3 sandwich. Now, I will always recommend the level 2 sandwich in this case, because a level 3 sandwich is going to take Herba Mystica, which is how you used to hunt for shinies. Unless you have unlimited Herba Mystica, then I would always recommend going for the level 2 sandwich at first, and then switching it to a level 3 sandwich when you are actually ready to begin the shiny hunt. So for the level 2 sandwich for water type Pokemon, it's going to be relatively easy. You're going to be using 2 herb sausage, and then you're going to be using 4 rices. And then you're going to go to the next screen here, and you're going to use 1 chili sauce. Now, all of these ingredients can be purchased in Lavencia. So if you want to head over to Lavencia, there's all the different shops that you can buy every single food item in the game there. So you're good to go. And then we'll use a pick here to put on the sandwich. Doesn't matter what the pick is. And this is always going to guarantee level 2 water encounter. So the sandwiches are actually relatively easy to put together. I mean, you can stack the rices all the way on top. I recommend centering the rice so they don't fall over. And then the herb sausage, you can just sort of drop down right next to each other. They're not going to really fall as long as you aim properly. I'm not even really trying here, but there you go. That's how you're going to get your level 2 water encounter sandwich. And then we can start doing some mass outbreak resets, so you can hopefully get the water types that you want to shiny hunt. So now that we got encounter power water level 2, we're ready to begin our reset method. So the best way to do this, as I already mentioned, is you want to be in a beach area, a watery place, or maybe some sort of freshwater area. I will also say you don't want to do any mass outbreaks that are located on ponds, as ponds are really annoying to hunt at in general. So what we're going to do, you're going to have your map open, and then you're going to go to your system settings, go all the way down to your system, and then you're going to go to date and time, and then date and time again, and you're just going to hit OK. Now, I'm not going to do it right here because I like the outbreak that I currently have, but essentially you're going to keep hitting OK over and over again. So once you hit OK, you're just going to go back, go to the map, and then your outbreaks are going to change, and you're just going to keep doing this until you eventually reset for the Pokemon that you desire to shiny hunt. Like, there's a couple of hard ones, like Finian is definitely going to be one of the harder ones to get here. It all depends on your RNG, though. Sometimes you can get them immediately. Sometimes it can take a couple hours to get the exact ones that you want. So once you actually have the outbreak like I have right here, I want to shiny hunt for Alamala. Alamala is a sort of on the rarer side, which is why I didn't want to really get rid of this one. And I don't have this currently for my shiny living dex right now. So I really want to hunt this one, right? And we got it in a pretty decent area. It's off the beach. The spawns are pretty good. Not every outbreak spawn is going to be built the same. So always make sure that you check out the general spawns of the outbreak before you actually commit a level 3 sandwich to it, because you never know how much time you're going to end up wasting on it. And we don't want to waste time. We want to be as optimal as possible. So I'm just going to go ahead and save my game because we got the outbreak that we wanted, right? And what you need to do now is you're going to knock out 60 of your outbreak Pokemon. I already knocked out 60 here, but essentially you're going to be doing this with an auto battle Pokemon that can either fly above the water, something like Kilowattrel's really good, or something that can walk on water or surf on water like Goldango or Walking Wake here, and just going to send them out to auto battle. And I would actually recommend getting some sort of counter app. And of course, sometimes you can actually walk into Pokemon, which can be a little bit annoying. They'll interrupt you. But I do recommend getting some sort of counting app because you do want to knock out 60. And those messages that appear on the top of the screen do not dictate the number that you've knocked out. Essentially, they're going to be a number range from, I believe, 25 to 30. So if you knock out 60, you will see both of those for sure. However, let's say if you just knock out 50, you'll probably see both messages as well, because each outbreak is going to have a different amount. They're not all have the same amount. So this is why I recommend downloading like a free counter app, or just counting on your computer or in your phone or something like that, so you don't have to really worry about that. But once you've knocked out 60, of course, you're going to go ahead and save your game again. And now you have the rest of the day to complete this shiny hunt. And we need to make a level 3 sandwich for this to further boost our odds. You don't have to make a level 3 sandwich, but you probably want to. It's going to make your shiny hunting a lot easier. It's going to increase your odds. Of course, having the shiny charm is going to increase your odds as well. So there are a couple different ways to do it. You could do a shortcut method, or you can do a long form method. I like doing the shortcut, but the long form, if for a lot of people that can work out, that pretty much is any 2 Urban Mystica, is going to be 1 pickle, 1 cucumber, and then triple cucumber. And then pretty much almost any 2. I'm going to use I'm going to use 2 bitters in this case to do this sandwich. Of course, you could do 1 cucumber and 2 salties. That will also work as well if you have 2 salties, but salties are pretty rare, and I know not a lot of people are going to necessarily have 2 salties that they can easily use. And now with the level 3 sandwich done, we're ready to begin this hunt. So we're going to leave the picnic, and now we're going to have our Alamalas in this case be spawning around. Of course, because we are still in the water, there is going to be plenty of other water types that are going to spawn. Some areas are always going to be better. This is a pretty decent outbreak in general. You get a good amount of spawns, but you're never going to get a full 15 amount of the Alamalas. Now, Alamala Shiny does have a green eyelash and can be a little bit hard to see. But the big thing that makes these water type hunts difficult is they go underwater. So like obviously the ones above water are going to be super easy for me to tell. There's going to be like no issue at all for these. And none of these are underwater, which is great. However, the ones that are underwater, which I do believe some of them were back here that were underwater, these are going to be very hard to see. And like for any water type underwater like this Scarlet, it's always going to be a little bit harder for us to actually tell. So, okay, this Alamala spawned underwater. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be a shiny, or this Scarlet. I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be a shiny or not. You know, especially if the shiny isn't too obvious. And Alamala to me is not an obvious one when it's underwater. But there is a good way to get around this. Now, we're going to be going on our controller. I have a Pro controller. We're going to be hitting the L button. We're going to be hitting the LZ button, the one right behind it. And then we're going to pan the camera down by moving the stick up. And now we can actually see underwater. And we can see here that this is not a shiny. And you can actually walk around like this and look at all the things underwater. Now, this is incredibly awesome and very cool. As long as you have the camera like this, you can do it. And I would recommend only doing this when you do need to see a Pokemon that is underwater. Of course, it's a little bit hard to move when you are doing that, so keep that in mind. But this is going to be a phenomenal way to shiny hunt water type Pokemon. This actually works through walls as well. So if there is a Pokemon like that is behind the wall, you can actually do this and see through the wall as well. Just remember hitting the L button and the LZ button at the same time. And then we're going to push the stick up so the camera is going to be underneath us. And then we can see underneath the water, and it's like there's no water at all. So this is going to make a lot of shiny hunts incredibly easy in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, especially those water type hunts or any hunts that, you know, potentially could be glitching through a wall. You can at least check the wall and just make sure that there is going to be a shiny Pokemon there or not. So this is going to be phenomenal, and I think it's going to make everyone's life a little bit easier.